Good day, good day, good day, good day, good day, and welcome to another one of our Property Master Key sessions. If you're tuning in, let us know in the chat where you're joining us from. Are you inside of the UK? And if you're outside of the UK, let us know where you're tuning in from today. I am looking forward to literally welcoming every single person into this live in order to help you guys literally change your life. We're going to have an absolutely amazing session today. For those of you who are ready, let me see the word ready in the chat. For those of you who are ready, let me see the word ready in the chat. So I know that you know that we are ready to go. Now, in today's live, what we're going to be doing is basically the part 2 of our previous session. In our previous session, we did part 1 where we were basically outlining and breaking down the first of the 4 master keys in property in order for you to succeed. And that first master key that we covered in the first session was marketing. And we literally broke down how marketing is essential to your property investment success. Now, marketing is not the only thing that restricts and stops people from becoming financially free using property. There are many people who start their property journey, and unfortunately, they may have 3 properties, they may have 5 properties, they may have even as much as 8 or 10 properties, generating them the average kind of 300, 200, 100 pounds or dollars every single month. Well, here's the funniest thing. Very quickly, if you have a 6-figure salary or a near to 6-figure salary, you very quickly realize, hold on a minute, these 3 to 5 to 10 properties making me $300, $200 pounds a month are not enough for me to become financially free. And what I'm going to have to do is literally have 15, 20, maybe even 25 or more of these properties in order to become financially free. Now that, for most people, becomes a problem. And when that becomes a problem for most people, what do? Well, they start looking for a solution. And there are various solutions that you can look for. There are various solutions you can use. But the reality is, which of the situations, which of the solutions are going to actually be the best for you? So this is the reason why we decided to do these live set of videos and outline for you guys, not the 1, not the 2, not the 3, but all 4 of the master keys for you to succeed in property. So those of you who were with us on the last session, you would have known that we would have broken down marketing, and we gave you a way to literally deep dive into your marketing so you can start finding great property deals. And rather than those great property deals being found by an estate agent phoning you up, now what happens, if you're following the things we're sharing in this particular session, you now have those great deals coming to you. They're literally coming to you rather than you having to chase and find them, rather than you having to run around trying to see if you can get them. Instead, they're coming to you. They're engaging with you. Now, what most people don't realize in life is that when you start investing in property, even if you get the marketing piece right, what happens is when you start marketing, people start engaging you. I'm going to say that one more time. Hopefully you guys have caught that already. But when you start marketing, what happens is people start engaging you. Now, here's a great question to ask to get us started in today's session. How many of you would like to have multiple people looking for you with their property problem in order for you to solve it for them? If that's you, just say I would in the chat. Now, side by side with that, here's a secondary question to help you understand the first question. How many of you, if you had multiple people, let's say 5 to 500 people, contacting you every single God blessed month with their property problem in order for you to solve the problem, would know what to do with their specific problem? If that's you, just write I would in the chat. Now, here's the thing. If you are slightly apprehensive about answering that second question, and with that second question, you're saying to yourself, hold on a minute, Samuel, you know what? I'm not sure if I would. Samuel, you know what? I don't think I actually would. You know what, Samuel? I think I wouldn't. If that's you, I'm so glad that is you. And I'm first and foremost even more so glad that you can be transparent and honest in today's life. Because in today's life, what we're going to be doing is unraveling and uncovering exactly how you will be able to take on every single one of those 5 to 500 calls, those 5 to 500 leads, those 5 to 500 opportunities in order for you to become more closer to being financially free. Now, if that sounds good to you, just write in the chat, that's good, so I know that we are in the right place and in the right space in order to help you guys move to a whole new level. Now, let me ask this question. It's a bit of a, I'm gonna ask it. I just want to see, right? Would your life be better if you were able to utilize these things I'm talking about? Okay? If you were able to not only grab control of these opportunities I'm talking about, but if you were able to harness the skills and the power in order for those calls to not get dropped, in order for those opportunities to not be flopped, if you were in that position, would that make your life better? Someone let me know in the chat with a yes if it would make your life better if you understood exactly what to do in order for you to get through on your property investment journey, just like I've described to you. If that would make your life better, let me see yes in the chat so I know that it will make your life better. Because what we're going to do is we're going to jump deeper into the interactive tool that I revealed to you guys recently. And I'm just getting this ready right now as you guys are on the live. So bear with me. I'm just getting it ready so you guys can all be ready to go and literally see what we've got in the chat. And guys, as I've said previously, if you're tuning in from in the UK, let us know where in the UK you're tuning in from. If you're tuning in from outside of the UK, let us know where outside of the UK you're tuning in from so we can welcome you onto this live. So just let us know in the chat. Hi Samuel, I'm tuning in from, and then let us know where you're tuning in from. And if you're tuning in from somewhere else outside of the UK and you're in the Americas or you're somewhere else, let us know where you're tuning in from as well. All right, cool. I think we're good to go. So I'm going to open up the interactive tool, let you guys have a good look at it again. And for those of you who are interested in this tool, all you've got to say in the chat is, I want it. This is how we did it in the last live. All you've got to do is say in the chat, I want it. And what we'll do is my team will arrange a way for you guys to be able to gain access to this resource so this resource can continually help you move further faster in your property investment journey. So without further ado, let's transition and show that. All right, so this is the sourcing blueprint mind map, which I revealed to you guys 2 sessions ago. And in that 2 sessions ago session, we did our introduction. And in the introduction, I outlined for you guys exactly how this resource is going to be of benefit to you, but more importantly, how we've used this resource in order to help multiple of our students to become financially free in property. And I've done that specifically with this key resource right here. Now, this is the sourcing blueprint mind map for those of you who haven't seen the first session or the second session. And if you haven't seen those sessions, if you're watching this on YouTube, go back, go watch those sessions whilst they're still on YouTube. If you're watching this through means of the interactive tool, congratulations, you grabbed the interactive tool. So you're going to have these videos for as long as this interactive tool is on the internet. So you will have access to it. So as long as the company that hosts this doesn't go down or something crazy or catastrophic doesn't happen, then you're going to have access to this. And side by side, you're going to have access to all of these videos, not just the ones we're doing now, but also the ones we'll do in the future that relate to the updates of this resource. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a quick overview for those of you who are brand new to the live or those of you who are brand new to this experience and just share with you exactly what we're talking about. So the sourcing mind map was developed as a mind map, as an interactive tool in order for us to give you guys a more 3D experience and a deeper dive into the framework that I created for successful property people to become even more successful. Now, there are many people in the property space who do property part-time. And by doing property part-time, what I mean is they're the financial free-ish group of people. That's what I usually call them. So by financially free-ish, Samuel, what do you mean? Well, I'm so glad you asked. What I mean when I say financially free-ish, I'm talking about those people who have between 3, 5, 8, 10 properties. And as they've built their portfolio between 3 and 10 properties, as they've worked full time building up that portfolio, one of the things that have happened is they've realized after a period of time, they're only generating between 3 and 100 per month. Now, if you're in the UK, that's going to be 100 to 300 pounds. If you're in the US, that's $300 to $100. And unfortunately, what they very quickly realize is they can't become financially free on that kind of revenue. So what they start doing is looking for new ways to generate revenue in property and looking for the solution and the answer. And many of these people who are what I call financially free-ish, let me tell you what they also are as well. They're also, in many cases, property rich and cash poor. That means they have millions of pounds worth of property in their portfolio on paper, but if you look at the bank accounts, they are still struggling on a month-to-month basis, all right? And I know some of you who are starting out in your property journey who are going to get a lot of value out of this are going to be saying to yourself, Samuel, is it possible that someone can have 5 to 10 properties and actually be struggling financially? Yes, it is, because if you are property rich and cash poor, you're not in the best situation, especially right now as we have interest rates and all of these other dynamics coming into the pot. So let's go deeper to add value to you guys. So with the sourcing blueprint, what I did is I created a blueprint absolutely free. We give this away absolutely free. And if anyone wants this, just write in the chat free. And what we'll do is we'll throw the link in the chat. And I'll give you a sneak peek as we're doing this. This is where you go to get the absolutely free sourcing blueprint. As you can see, it says discover the 4 fatal flaws that stop property investors from making their first £15,000 per month from property. Download the exact blueprint we use to avoid the flaws and find good and great deals using this little time, using as little time and less effort, right? Now, this is the sourcing blueprint right here. You just throw your email address in here. Straight after you throw your email address in, hit that get instant access, and that will give you the sourcing blueprint. Now, for some of you who are looking to get this mind map, if you want the mind map, besides free, all you got to write in the chat is I want it, and then me and my team will reach out and find a way to basically give you access to this. Now, this is not a free resource. This is a paid resource, okay? And the reason it's a paid resource is because it has to be hosted on a platform and all of that stuff, right? But nonetheless, this resource is reasonably priced in order to help you move further in your life. Now, the sourcing mind map is the interactive version of the sourcing blueprint. So I'd highly recommend you go get that blueprint for free so you know exactly what we're breaking down in each of these lives. Now, once you get the mind map, which is the extension to the blueprint, what's going to happen is in the blueprint, you got the 4 core pillars, all right? And those 4 core pillars are outlined here. They're marketing, they're managing, they're measuring, they're maturing. And what most people don't realize is, we did the introduction a week ago, what most people don't realize is how these 4 key master keys play such a major part in you becoming financially free. And this is why we're doing these interactive live sessions to help you guys understand that. And if we get questions on these lives, I know last Friday I literally said I was going to take questions and I literally forgot by the time we finished, maybe because we slightly went over time. So on this live, if you guys have questions about anything I go through, I'm happily going to answer your questions as well. If that sounds good, just put the word good in the live chat so I know that you're with me, okay? And guys, you can use the live chat to interact. And if you're watching this on the replay on YouTube, you can literally use the comments below on YouTube to interact. And if you're watching this inside of the interactive resource, you won't be able to use the live chat or the YouTube chat, but you will be able to use the facility we have inside of the mind map to literally shoot us questions and write us any comments that you have in terms of feedback and, most importantly, testimonials as you use this stuff to get results, right? So let's go deeper. So we did the introduction around 2 videos ago, literally breaking down for you guys how this all works, who this is not for, etc., etc. And in that, I outlined exactly who this training, this tutorial style training is not for. I went deeper. I not only explained who this is not for, I explained also who this is for and also what this is, what the whole process is that we're going through. In the last video we did, in the last session, we broke down marketing. We broke down all the aspects of marketing. I showed you how do you actually do the marketing. I showed you different avenues that you can go down in terms of marketing. We spoke about direct mail, we spoke about leafleting, we spoke about property spotting, and so on and so on. In today's video, what I'm going to be doing is sharing with you guys about the manage process, because the managing process is the second part of the sourcing blueprint. What many people do not realize is if you are actively marketing, key number 1, and you go out and tell people, I can help you. Let's just put it on a very basic level. Let's not even talk about using any marketing campaigns. Let's just say you went out there and you started telling people, hi, I can help you with your property investment journey. By virtue of you just going out and telling people, guess what's going to happen? Some people are going to respond. You see, I love the story about Jesus. It says he preached to a multitude. It says some laughed, some mocked, some scoffed, but guess what? Some believed. So what that tells us is just by virtue of the law of large numbers, the more people you tell that you are active in property, the more probability that people are going to reach out to you. And when those people reach out to you, guess what? Unless you know what you're doing, unless you're able to manage, somebody's getting it, unless you're able to manage the relationship, guess what happens? Your marketing goes in vain. So all marketing is useless unless there's managing in the background. And this is the reason why the second key, the second master key to being financially free in property is not just marketing and marketing more, it's marketing and managing what you market. So this is how you manage, and we're going to be breaking this down. So a question you might be asking is, how do I overcome failure to manage property connections? Because most people are failing, and that's the reason why they're not able to do that. And I'm going to basically give you guys a high-level overview of a number of these things in order to equip you to move further faster in your property journey. Now, one of the things you need to think about to answer this question is which is one of the main reasons for deal failure, okay? When you ask yourself, okay, have I ever had an opportunity to do property in the past? And the answer is probably going to be yes. You might have had a colleague at work who tells you about a house they inherited. You might have had a friend who told you in your local pub, if that's your kind of thing, who told you about a house that they're splitting with their spouse on and basically they want to get rid of as soon as possible, okay? Now, the reason I'm giving you these examples is because I want you to start to realize in your mind where you've had conversations, real life conversations about prospective property opportunities that you didn't even realize were prospective property opportunities. Because it happens every day, guys. It happens every day. I'm telling you, it happens every day. And the problem for most people is they're not aware that it's happening every day. And because of that, they allow opportunities to literally walk past them without them taking full advantage of it. So these are some of the things you want to understand. You want to understand what is one of the main reasons for deal failure. Okay. Another thing you should think about is which is one of the fastest ways to lose credibility. You see, I'm going to give you an answer to both of these because I want you guys to understand how this works. One of the fastest ways to deal failure is lack of response. Just think about it for a minute. Imagine you're at work and in your lunch break, your work colleague tells you that they've recently inherited a property. They're not interested in becoming a landlord. They do not want to manage the property, so they have no idea what they're going to do with the property. They think they might need to sell it. And because the property is not in the same location geographically as where they live, they want to sell it with speed and they don't even have expertise with the right team in order to help them sell it. Now, the fastest way that opportunity can fail for you is if you don't respond appropriately. If you don't engage, if you don't respond, if you don't give an answer that indicates that you could help them, that indicates that you could work with them, that indicates that you have something of value for them, guess what? That will produce deal failure. So one of the main reasons for deal failure is quite simply lack of effective response. Someone needs to write that down. It's the lack of an effective response. And this is so important to understand because as we go deeper, what we're going to be doing is equipping you guys to make sure that doesn't happen to you. Let's go in. The next question is, which is one of the fastest ways to lose credibility? Okay. Now, overcoming failure to manage property connections will always produce loss of credibility. If people are reaching out to you saying, hi, James, you know what? I'm interested in working with you in my property investment journey. Or, hi, Amber, I've got this property and I'd love to offload it to you because I've heard you're the person who can do what I need to get done. You see, the biggest issue that can happen is the failure to manage that connection, that property connection, will ultimately result in you also losing credibility. Because that person will now be thinking, well, hold on a minute, you're not the right person for the job. I thought you were, but you're obviously not the right person for the job. Now, the reason this is so important is because so many people think to themselves, you know what, I know what I'm doing. I know how to get this done. I know what to do with this. And what they don't realize is that they lack credibility because of their inability to manage the situation. This is why it's so crucial to understand how to manage the situation. You see, I want you to realize that if you're not thinking about the ultimate solution to manage the situation, you're putting yourself in the wrong position to produce results. And this is why we want to help you to produce results. So I want you guys to realize this, okay? So this is one of the biggest challenges. If you are failing to manage property connections, it's going to result in you having deal failure. It's further going to result in you losing credibility. But here's one of the ones which I think are even more important, especially for people that want to expand, grow, exponentially take their property business to another level. The next thing is it produces an indication of your bandwidth. You see, if you can't manage 5 to 500 calls coming in every single month of people looking for you to help them solve their property problem, guess what? You are saying you don't have the bandwidth to produce the kind of results that maybe you want. You see, there are people out there who say to themselves, I want to generate £15,000 per month from my property portfolio. But they don't have the bandwidth to do the deals that will actually result in that. And those deals might be one deal. It might be one deal slightly bigger than all the deals you've done in the past. But you can't do that one deal if you don't have the bandwidth. And this is the reason why it is an indication of your bandwidth if you are not managing your property connections appropriately. So a question you might be asking yourself is, Samuel, what do I do? Well, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to look at one of the ways to do this, okay? Now, it says a few because there are a few in the mind map, but in today's session, I'm just going to share with you one of the ways to do this, all right? So a few of the ways are incoming calls, because if you're doing effective marketing, people are going to be calling you. One of the other ways is constructing your team, which I alluded to earlier, which again is another thing you can do. You can start to develop a team so you are right on the button when people want to engage with you. And the last one that we've got in here is develop a follow-up system, which are the ones that we won't cover in today's session. But what we will cover is the incoming calls. So here's a question. When you're marketing effectively, do you realize your lines, your telephone lines are going to ring? Okay, I'm going to say that again. Do you understand that when you are marketing effectively, when you're actively putting pieces of information out there, whether it be leafleting, as we spoke about in the previous video, whether it be landlord letters, whatever it is the medium in which you are marketing effectively, even if you are telling your friends and family, hi, I'm a property investor, or hi, I'm active in property, or hi, I'm helping people solve their property problems. It doesn't make a difference the medium you use to market. All marketing should result in relationships to be managed. Okay, I'm going to say that again because I want you guys to catch that. It doesn't matter the medium you choose to market, but all marketing should be rewarded through means of relationships that need to be managed. So what that means is if you're using an effective marketing model, like one of the ones we spoke about in the last video, if you're using an effective marketing model, like some of the ones we didn't even cover in the last video, if you are using an effective marketing model, you are going to have people responding to your marketing. And if they respond to your marketing, how are they going to respond? They're going to respond through means of the call to action, most likely, that you have put in your marketing. So imagine you did a Facebook post and you said, hi, it's calling all landlords. I am here to help you overcome A, B, C, or D. If you're interested in speaking with me, all you've got to do is DM me, or all you've got to do is call me, or whatever your call to action is, your action that you are asking people to take at the end of your medium of marketing. Now, why is this important? This is why it's important. If you're doing like what many of the people in the US do, if you're doing postcards, okay, because I've got a lot of people in the US who I'm connected with, and some of them that are doing real estate, that's basically their main marketing method. They use postcards, all right? And for those of us in the UK, postcards are, yes, what we think their postcards are. It's just a postcard, right? A small 3x5 card that goes in someone's post and literally says a specific marketing message around the property. Now, in the UK, most people don't use postcard marketing for marketing. We use traditional landlord letters or other mediums that we spoke about here, right? But a postcard is very similar to a leaflet, right? So just consider it, for those of you in the UK, just consider it like a leaflet, right? But when we're doing that kind of marketing, what happens? Guess what? People act. Let's say 95% of the 100 people who we put a postcard or a leaflet through their door do not respond. Now, a lot of people are going to be upset right now. They're going to be saying, Samuel, 95 people didn't respond. Well, guess what? 5 people did. And let me tell you the beautiful thing about the 5 people did. It only takes one. Some of you know exactly what I'm talking about. You see, we've got a brand that we literally launched a number of years ago in light of the stuff I'm talking about. It's called the One Seller Away. And this brand, this branding, this message, because that's what it is more than any branding, this message was something we wanted all our students to understand, that you are only ever just one seller away from a payday that will change your whole financial future. So I want you to understand, when I say one seller away, all you need is one. And if you are investing £300 every single month in marketing for these property deals we're talking about, and each of those £300 deposits are producing one person for you to do a deal with. And here's the beautiful thing about the one person. You don't even have to necessarily be buying the property. For those of you who have tuned into some of my training before, you know about the 30 Ways in 30 Days program that I created, where I teach people 30 separate ways that you can use property to generate revenue. And over 60% of those ways are low or no money down. Now, why is that so important? It's important because the 60% of those ways, one of them ways is literally sourcing and selling. Sourcing and selling is when you are able to find a great deal, and maybe because you're not ready to buy that deal, you then sell that deal to somebody else. Now, if you're able to sell that deal for a 2% fee, oh, someone's excited already, but I'm excited with you. Let me just tell you the truth. If you're able to sell that deal for a 2% fee, now look, here's the thing that's interesting, a 2% fee. Here's the thing that's interesting, right? In the UK, average property prices are around £250,000, which means if you acquire an average property for £250,000 at a great deal, let's say you were able to acquire it at £200,000, and you were able to sell that deal to another property investor for a 2% fee, that is £4,000 you have generated. Now, why is that amazing? It's amazing because your marketing budget may have been less than 10% of that return. That literally means you're making over 1,000% return on your marketing budget by deploying something as small as £200, £300 per month in property marketing. And this is why the management that we're talking about in today's session is so key. So when marketing effectively, your lines will ring. People are going to be saying, hold on, I got this leaflet. It was speaking exactly to me, exactly about what I'm going through. I'm interested in finding out more. Your lines will ring. If you guys are understanding this, someone throw the letter U in the chat so I know you guys are understanding this, so I can know that you guys are getting this. Now, here's the thing. When your lines ring, one of the biggest mistakes you can make, and I've seen people make these mistakes. I made these mistakes when I first started in my property journey. I want you to understand, guys, Samuel I Can Win isn't just some hero, okay? I started off in property as a zero, okay? I want you to know this. It's the absolute truth. I started my property journey knowing nothing, like most people. I started my property journey having nothing, like many people. I started my property journey without a clue in terms of what to do, like many people. That might even be you right now. You might be someone who's built a portfolio of 5 or 8 properties, but you still know, you know what, I don't really know what I'm doing. That's okay. Well done. Congratulations. You're in the right place. So let's go deeper. You see, when marketing effectively, your lines will ring. So here's the thing. If you want to catch all calls professionally and punctually, you're going to have some management form of system. Now, one of the biggest mistakes people make is they go and put marketing out there and they tell all of the people through means of the call to action, phone my mobile, okay? And they're not saying it like that, but that's what they're effectively saying to the whole world. Phone my mobile. And then when they're walking around Waitrose in the middle of the afternoon, their mobile phone rings and they answer that thing. And they've got someone who may be a distressed or motivated seller calling them saying, hi, James, I'm interested in selling my property. I recently got your leaflet. Can you help me? And the response that motivated seller, let's call that person Alan, the response Alan hears is, we need service on aisle 4. You see, I want you to understand how disgustingly disillusioning it will be for someone like this Alan we're talking about, who's calling, looking for help, and hearing new checkout on aisle 4 in the background. But this happens again and again and again. I can't even tell you guys how many countless times this has happened when I know students who, whether they be on other people's training programs, sometimes even in my own training programs, who are like, look, I actually did the marketing. I got a phone call and as I was speaking to the person, in the background, the tannoy was going off. In the background, my child's school teacher was talking to me. In the background, this was happening or that was happening. Guys, I don't want that to be your story. I want you guys to be able to win. And the way you're going to be able to win is not just through the marketing, it's also through the effective managing. You're going to have to catch all calls punctually, but equally professionally, okay? If you guys understand what I'm talking about, throw that letter U in the chat so I know you guys understand exactly what I'm talking about, okay? So a question you might be asking yourself is, Samuel, you know what? I'm totally getting this. I want to start marketing, but if I am marketing, I am going to have to find a way to be managing. And I don't want to be sitting by the telephone all day, all night, just to literally answer and handle calls from people who want to sell their house with speed. So Samuel, if I'm marketing effectively, how do I start managing effectively? And like I shared with you guys, I'm going to be going through one of those ways right now. You see, one of the key ways that you can start managing professionally and punctually, and you can start doing this effortlessly, is by securing a call handling team. You see, a call handling team are a team that will represent you on the telephone. They're a team that literally will pick up every one of your calls when people call in. So when people are saying, oh, you know what, I got this leaflet and I actually want to engage with this company, I'm going to dial them up, and they dial you, the moment they call, they'll be speaking straight away to your call handling service. So you might have Alison on the phone, you might have Andy on the phone, you might have Sam on the phone, but you will literally have someone picking up the phone and saying, good afternoon, I Can Win Properties, how can I help you? Good afternoon, Amber and Amber Properties, how can I help you? Good afternoon, James and Cole Properties, how can I help you? And this is the key, the call handling service. The call handling service is a very simple piece of software, depending on which route you go down, or service that will slide into your business and allow you to get every one of those calls that are coming in both professionally and punctually, okay? Now, if you're interested in trying out a pay-as-you-go service that we've used in the past, you can literally do that through means of grabbing this mind map and just hitting this link right here, okay? We've already embedded the link for people to go and do that, right? So guys, we just wanted to add some value to you in terms of the managing and show you why you don't have to be the person who's literally losing out on opportunities because you have not managed your incoming marketing calls. So with that being said, guys, we're going to wrap up this one. I pray you guys have got value. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys at the top and not from the top. And as I usually share with you guys, I want to encourage you to make sure that you hit that like button, press subscribe, do everything else you need to do on YouTube so you can get notified every time we drop one of these videos. In our next video, we're going to be going deeper into the measuring aspect. And then the video after that, we're going to be topping it off with the maturing aspect. And we might even do a bonus video because there is additional resources aspect as well, which we can jump into to show you guys all the additional resources that come along with this mind map. With that being said, Samuel I Can Win, I'm signing out. Good day, God bless, and have a fantastic time. I'll see you on the next one. Take care.